Vent your feelings to your diary that you're not posting online.
Yeah.
Or your therapist.
So our topic today is mental health and media.
It's still Mental Health History Month. Today we are going to be drawing our brains on these blank sheet of paper. And we're going to talk about mental health as we do so.
We had some interesting conversations, I know, when we were planning this video about what we wanted to do it on. We picked mental health and media because most of our stuff that we were saying had to do with TV shows or social media, stuff like that.
So we were talking about how people overshare, not necessarily mental health, but their own personal mental health in a way that can kind of be toxic towards them.
Yeah, like an example of that we were talking about, people who share pictures online of like how they like cut themselves, which like on one hand I guess that could be like entertained as like, oh, that's how they're expressing themselves, but it's not really beneficial to anybody.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I normally wouldn't go online to see pictures of people who've cut themselves.
I would hope you wouldn't.
Like, we all would.
They're not looking for real help when they overshare.
Yeah.
Most of the time. They're looking for that faceless, nameless validation that strangers on the internet can give you. Like, you're valid and your concerns are valid, which is a good reassurance to have and hear, but it's not what you need. Whereas, like most of the reason if you don't go to your friends for that kind of thing would be because your friends are going to tell you, I love you and you're valid, but you need to go fix yourself. Like, you have to go to therapy, or you have to like get on medication or go to the hospital, like, and you don't always want to hear that. So it's harder to hear that coming from like your friends, and on the internet mostly people are just like, we hope you get better, and that's easier to take.
I feel like in the past however many years, let's say 20 years, mental health has been like destigmatized a lot, but I feel like with that now it's becoming more like easier for people to like weaponize that. Cases of like people who have like lied about having like depression, or, and I know this because this happened to a friend of mine where somebody lied to her in order like about being suicidal to get her attention and try to get her into a relationship with this person.
Oh.
Yeah, and that's always really toxic to like, I mean, the person that's getting into the relationship, but also maintaining that lie is like, I mean, it's so draining as a person to like constantly have to lie like that and about something that harsh. That's like a load of acting.
Yeah.
What I kind of like researched with this video was that I went online because I know there's a lot of posts that kind of like romanticize like depression and stuff.
We'll put them on the screen.
They're like aesthetic Tumblr-ly like posts.
And one way you could like interpret this as like, oh, it's just people who are venting their feelings and stuff. But the thing is, if you want to vent your feelings to your diary that you're not posting online.
Yeah.
Or your therapist.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what they're employed for.
And anyways, what I was saying is I found like some posts that kind of romanticize depression and kind of just being, some of them is more like just being sad in general, and some of them go all the way to the point of romanticizing suicide itself.
Which is sickening.
Yeah, so here's one, and it says in a fun, it's not really a fun font, but it just says, it's getting worse again, and it's a picture of somebody lying on a bed.
Like making suicide or whatever beautiful or cute or whatever.
Yeah, and this
Trendy.
one,
Relatable.
Yeah. And it shouldn't be.
this one's like just like a picture of like a neon sign, and it just says, it looks like a text, and it just says, just really depressed right now. And there's one that's just a picture of some houses and some trees, and but all I could do was stare at the wall in silence with tears in my eyes. This one's like a tweet, and they did some fun editing on it, and it says, too numb to feeling anything. This one is like a bit different. It's like some like pink shiny background with "Can you pretend I'm not ugly and annoying and fall in love with me?" So specifically kind of the issue with this one is kind of that it just like assumes that like, oh, I'm ugly and annoying. When probably whoever this is addressed to that you want to like fall in love with you probably does not think that. And really, even if they do think that, then the issue is not necessarily that them, which I feel like it kind of seems like in this post, but it's more with you. You need to go and change that about yourself. I'm not saying that there's probably nothing that you really need to change, but if you're genuinely an annoying person, or mean, per se, not necessarily annoying, then you need to go and change that in yourself, because it's not good to be a mean person, and you shouldn't just expect people to fall in love with you even though you're rude, you know?
I think that one too is saying like ugly and annoying, like that's your mental perception of yourself. You should be changing that. Like rather than saying I'm ugly and annoying, you can say like, well, I'm not a supermodel, but I am pretty. Like being able to realize that you have the power to tell yourself that what you are.
And here's another post. This one's on Instagram, and it says, "Me is too depressed to do anything. Me gets more depressed because I never do anything. My life is a mess." And like on one hand, like yeah, this is a genuine issue, but on the other hand, I feel like this is just more of like venting your feelings to the internet, because you know the internet is just gonna repost this and be like, oh my god, this is so relatable. When in reality, this isn't helping anybody. And if you truly have depression, you should go get help.
Yeah.
Not just make posts that are, my life is a mess.
I think sometimes people overshare and end up regretting it. And you can do that online a lot. Because it's easy. Because when you tell something that's serious to a friend, it's really difficult. But when you text them, like, for example, like doing a breakup over text, people do it because it's easier. And you don't see their reaction
and that's not helping you grow as a person.
Yeah, especially if you have something serious to tell a friend, don't text them about it. Talk to them face to face, because it's a lot easier to connect and really like understand.
You guys, I think that destigmatizing is something that we focus a lot on today, which is good because there are still definitely people who have a stigma around mental health, but I think it's less prevalent now, and we should work on the next step beyond destigmatizing mental health as a whole and destigmatizing like talking more about going to therapy. That's still an extremely there are a lot of people that go to therapy, but that's still a topic that people are like, well, I don't need to go to therapy. I'm not that bad, you know? Like, other people are worse than me.
A lot of people go to therapy and they don't really have, like, a significant issue. It's just good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Like, you don't need a reason to go to therapy.
Yeah, you should just be able, you should be allowed, you should allow yourself to get the help that you need whenever you need it. Yeah. And that doesn't matter who else needs help at the time. That's that should just be you.
You know, but in 13 Reasons Why, the idiot, the one where they very graphically show her, which there's a lot of beef on this, was this okay or not? Show her killing herself. Yeah. There's a warning before that episode.
Even the scenes where she was raped and abused. Even that is awful. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because even though the show was just rated PG-13.
I think it was rated
TV-14.
Yeah. PG.
Really?
Yeah.
TV-14.
Yeah. Because PG-13 is a movie rating.
Yeah. So regardless of any of that, social media and the media in general, often I think what we've agreed has a very harmful effect. I mean, it's proven scientifically that social media has a harmful effect on your mental health because it's creating this addiction, but in more ways than one, spreading that kind of imagery, and then also the relatable, making mental illness relatable. That's not something that we should be doing, but that the media is accomplishing.
Or making it like entertaining,
Yeah.
I guess. And I don't mean that in a way that's like mocking it, because that's there too, but more like profiting off of it unjustifiably, I guess.
Being surrounded by all this like negative thoughts and stuff is in no way good for your mental health, and really makes it worse. So really there just isn't any positive to posting stuff like this.
There's like a fine line between destigmatizing and, I guess, romanticizing.
Yes.
Because I think people overcompensate.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good word. In a nutshell, generally, we agree romanticizing mental illness is not something we should do.
And really, anyone should agree with that.
Yes.
I don't want to tell you what to think,
But
with some situations, that is something that shouldn't be debatable.
just about finished our little artwork too.
I love how artsy mine is. It's literally just doodles.
Oh, I like that.
This is cute.
Thank you.
Until next Monday, faithful viewers.
I like that.
We'll see you then. Also, let us know. We didn't really have time to share all of our thoughts on social media and mental illness. So if you want to see more, let us know down in the comments.
Definitely.
We'll put the. Did we mention? If we mentioned something, we'll put the link in the comments. If not,
Or
don't
description.
worry about it. Oh yeah, and
Because our comments might be disabled.
Bye guys.